Staying at home feels like the obvious choice for aging parents until it isn't. When I asked one resident why she moved into assisted living, her answer surprised me in the best way. That story opens today's episode. In this episode of Senior Living Moments, we're looking at why assisted living is the right choice for so many families. You'll learn 4 things to consider when deciding on assisted living versus aging in place.
Welcome to Senior Living Moments with Nancy Nelson. With 45 years of connecting with seniors, 2 decades of award-winning experience in assisted living, and a heart full of compassion, Nancy brings you stories that resonate and insights that empower. Get ready for real conversations, practical wisdom, and heartfelt humor to help you and your loved ones navigate the journey of seasoned adulthood with confidence and grace. And now, here's Nancy.
Our sponsor for this episode of Senior Living Moments is Belmont Village Senior Living, a network of over 30 beautiful communities around North America. People who move into Belmont often describe it as a luxurious cruise ship on land. Residents are proud of their new home and enjoy amenities like a saltwater pool, movie theater, full-use gym, and restaurant-style dining. They appreciate having pals to assist them and nurses available 24 hours a day. For more information, go to belmontvillage.com. That's belmontvillage.com, and see if there's a community near you. Thanks for joining me on this episode as we look at some honest answers on choosing between living at home versus an assisted living community. Let me begin with a true story about Barbara, similar to hundreds of conversations I've had over the years. This one took place when I was the executive director in Calabasas, California. Barbara and I were walking down the hall one day when she said to me, "Moving here was the best decision I ever made." I replied, "Well, thank you, Barbara. We're so happy you moved in." But after a 60-year marriage and raising 3 pretty amazing kids, why do you feel like this was such a good decision? We stopped walking and she grabbed my hand and she said, right into my eyes, "Because I'm not alone anymore." Another wife once told me as her husband was declining from late-stage Alzheimer's disease and living in our memory care while she had a suite in assisted living, "I'm so happy we moved in here a year ago. I couldn't have done this on my own. In fact, I wish we had moved in earlier." Some people move into assisted living after a health crisis, after the death of a spouse, or when they can no longer manage a large home with stairs and bills and upkeep. Others move so they're not alone, to make friends, or to be closer to family. There are many reasons I've seen people move into assisted living communities, but here are some of the secret benefits that you may not expect. Number 1, socialization. One of the biggest truths we learned from our shared COVID experience is how crucial it is for humans to have a sense of community, friends, family, instead of isolation. We need people in our lives for well-being. We were created for interaction and friendship and engagement with other human beings. Socialization can improve physical and mental health by lowering stress and keeping seniors active, which reduces the risk of chronic disease. Group activities and conversations stimulate the brain and reduce loneliness. In fact, lacking social connection can increase premature death by 26%, some say. I saw the toll of isolation in my own parents' lives. My mother spent the last years of her life with a lot of silence around her. She stayed busy with reading and crafts, but she didn't have many people to interact with. When we came to visit, it was like a happy shot of energy surged through her. We woke her up simply by being present. She would tell us that the months after our visits were the best months she had. My dad started losing his voice because he was alone in the house for many hours each day after his wife passed away. But when we relocated him to an assisted living, just those simple conversations over meals and in the hallways brought back his energy and his ability to speak. Number 2, a reduction in loneliness and depression. I remember a gentleman named Sid who moved into Belmont. His family warned us, "Our dad is a quiet and introverted man. He's not social and probably will not come out of his room very often." We reassured them that he could be his quiet self and that we wouldn't force him to socialize if that wasn't who he was. Within a few days, Sid chose to sit in the great room watching people. He pretended to read the newspaper because it gave him a purpose for being in the middle of the activity, but we watched him watch people. He wasn't interested in joining activities, but Sid was always on the edges. If you sat near him, he was quietly guessing the trivia answers. His feet were tapping during happy hour music. Then we noticed Sid starting to say hello to people and chatting with them as they passed him in the hall. His family couldn't believe how happy he was. They said it's like all his sadness and loneliness just washed away. All Sid needed was to be close to people. Being on the edges of an activity made him feel like part of something and not alone anymore. Number 3, seniors sometimes just need support. None of us like to admit when we need help. We'd rather take the long route to our destination than stop for directions. Seniors often feel marginalized and ignored, which creates a stronger need to prove that they're still capable. But in reality, as we age, even once simple tasks like bathing, dressing, managing medications can become difficult or unsafe to do alone. Assisted living communities provide staff that are trained to support independence while helping with these personal tasks called activities of daily living. In a recent survey, 64% of seniors needed help with bathing, 50% needed assistance with walking, 49% needed help with dressing. Getting the support they need can reduce falls and medication errors and health setbacks. Number 4, safety. Knowing your loved one is safe gives the whole family peace of mind. Many risks exist in a senior's daily life, like falling. The CDC data shows that more than 1 million adults over age 65 are hospitalized each year from falls. Falls can happen on familiar stairs, rugs, garden pathways, slippery rocks, or a sudden turn. While no environment can eliminate risk, assisted living buildings are designed to minimize hazards for aging adults. Another danger is getting lost and driving dangers. In 2023 in California alone, about 2,500 elderly people were reported missing, many with only mild cognitive impairment. Getting lost can happen to anyone, but the likelihood increases with an aging brain, says the person who couldn't find her car yesterday. Assisted living provides safe transportation to appointments and stores, giving families peace of mind. Another danger is scammers. In 2024, 147,127 fraud complaints were filed by the U.S. adults over age of 65. But only 1 in 44 scams is reported, meaning an estimated 6.5 million seniors may have been victimized, with losses totaling $4.9 billion, according to the FBI Internet Crime Center. Assisted living teams help protect residents by building systems of support and oversight. What about home dangers? Most American homes are filled with potential threats for elders with vision, balance, hearing, cognitive challenges. Outside the home, risks increase for falls and fractures and head injuries. Then there's weather-related concerns. Power outages, snowstorms, floods, fires, tornadoes pose serious risk for seniors that are living alone. The list could go on and on. The bottom line is this: seniors are vulnerable and they need protection. A personal story. My dad wanted to live in his home after his wife passed away, and we encouraged his independence for as long as possible. But after a 4-day power outage during a terrible winter snowstorm, he missed all of his bill payments, he had an expired card tag, and he had a recent fall outdoors. We knew that it was time for a conversation. Those conversations were hard, but they were filled with love and care and tears. My dad agreed that he needed some help. We moved him into assisted living a few weeks later, and within 7 days he told us how grateful he was to have people to talk to who think I'm fun to be around. He went on about the great food and how he no longer needed to forage for meals. He said, "I feel safer, especially with our hard winter weather." I encourage you to take a tour. Go see for yourself. Check out an assisted living like Belmont. Ask yourselves and get the answers you need. Assisted living can be a beautiful and positive option for your parents.